Hi fairies! Welcome back to my channel. I am eca.fairy and in today's video we are looking at trends for 2023 fall-winter. Basically, I'm reacting to the most popular trends and telling you which ones are worth investing in
and which ones you should just avoid.
We are looking at the trends through the lens of Vogue. This is the Vogue shopping report. But what do you actually need to shop for? First trend is pinstripe power dressing, as they title it. These kind of pieces are pretty much timeless because you can always wear them in the office, for example. These kind of clothes are really good for when you need to appear more professional, and who doesn't need that like multiple times in their life. Basically, this means that the item you purchase right now will have more than just a few wears. So if power dressing is your thing and has been for a while, this fall and winter season is the best time to get a piece. This kind of clothes will always be elegant, timeless, chic, and just amazing. The second trend is fall classics, and this category sums up a lot of types of clothes. Basically, this trend is honestly a bit confusing, and if I were you, I would kind of stay away from materials and textures that you don't usually wear. If you want to go with a fall classic though, anything that screams Burberry is just now the thing. So if you already own something like that, you don't need to splurge more on the fall classics category. Going grey is such a cute trend, and honestly it also goes hand in hand with the first trend that I was telling you about, the pinstripe clothing. The grey shades that we have been seeing on the runway are pretty much timeless, can go with anything, and you will not regret purchasing them. So my advice would be, if you like this color and you feel like it advantages you, to invest in one or maybe two, but not more than that, very high quality pieces that will get you through more seasons. Because grey, especially this kind of rich deep one, is never truly out of style. Now this trend, Everyday Metallica, I think you can already tell how I feel about it. While it's glamorous and something out of a movie, is it really day-to-day wear? Because I'm not really convinced. Don't get me wrong, if you have fancy events to attend, or if your style of dressing is already in this area, now is your time to get something metallic. But if you haven't really played with this kind of clothing, I don't think now is a good time, especially because this is not a daily wear. You will be reaching so little for this kind of piece. But when it comes to things like shoes and clothes, I feel like those are pretty difficult to match with something more simple that you own. Polka dots, well, I'm not against, but I'm not for either. Because while it definitely does play into the embracing your childhood aesthetic that we have been seeing lately, I feel like this trend can easily just fall out. But if you really want to get a piece that kind of says, I'm trendy right now, try buying something that has really small dots on it. Like, for example, I have a few shirts that have really small polka dots, so they aren't that obvious, they aren't that hard to match with something else. Long and lean dresses have been in and out of style, but I really feel like they are a true classic in a staple wardrobe. Season's runway really elevated the long dress, and I am so here for it. From adding ruffles to really eccentric accents, it just made it, you know, more than it already was, and it was a really good classic. I'm really here for this trend, and it's not just a trend, it's pretty much timeless. But if you are going to invest in a long dress, I would really advise you to look for something that's flattering for your body shape. Don't just get the most out there, trendiest piece because you might not like it, so you are not going to wear it. Try something that is more fitting for you. Futurist florals. Now that's an interesting name. I'm not sure how I feel about this, because while I do love some florals, especially the more feminine ones, this was something out of this world. And while I do appreciate the way the designers put these florals into actual clothing, I don't know if this is a daily wear for people like you or me. We have reached layerable lace, and I have seen this trend being called romantic gothic by other magazines. As you can already tell if you've been following me for a while, I am here for it, and so much. But lace can be a bit tricky to style, especially if you love dressing very colorful. So I would really pay attention to what kind of lace I'm wearing. And the distinction that Vogue made, I feel like it's so important, it's layerable lace. So you can have a lace top or a lace dress on top of something else. If you want your outfits to be timeless and not cringe-worthy in a couple of years, you don't want to mix lace with anything else. Because lace, as I was saying, is pretty tricky and you can really fall into the kitsch category pretty easily with it. I would stick to black, white and neutral colored lace. Maybe even your favorite color, but not anything like bright colored lace. Because lace is mysterious, it's already saying a lot, it's telling such an amazing story, but if you pair it up with a bright color, it can become too much, it can become tiring and just ruin the whole look. I just have to admire the Glam Rebellion, but I am going to sit this one out because I really feel like you need to have it in your personality in order to dress this way. But who knows, it might be your style, I'm not saying no, but make sure that you already have pieces that can go with this kind of trend before splurging a lot on it. Of course, this kind of trend also gives us more toned down alternatives, so I would definitely look into those, especially the ones that fall under the essentials category. Tomato red, I'm sure you've been seeing this all over your feed. And I honestly, obviously love it for nails, I love it for specific accessories, for specific pieces of clothing, but personally I wouldn't have a full-on red outfit like from head to toe. But I wouldn't buy more than 3 pieces maybe in this color, even though brands are just throwing it at us non-stop. If you are looking to get a designer bag, I wouldn't have it in red if I were you. And you might be wondering why, because everybody is saying how trendy this is, and every brand is just, you know, every designer is throwing a lot of so stunning bags at us, and honestly I would want them all as well, but it would not be a conscious choice. Because while you might love it now and be the trendiest on your Instagram, be the trendiest in your city with a brand new red bag, this can easily go out of style if you haven't previously been really into this color, especially when it comes to statement accessories like a bag. I would stay away and maybe, you know, look for something more neutral. So each time you make a purchase and ask yourself if this trend is really worth it or not for your investment, for your fashion choices, you really have to picture it in the wardrobe that you already own. Picture this. You are trying to build a staple, elegant, timeless, classy wardrobe that you will always be able to pick from. Now, every time you buy something, especially designer, or you simply make an investment in a piece of clothing that is supposed to last through more than one season, you should be able to already integrate that specific piece into the clothes that you already own. This is of course the case in which you already have your style mapped out, but if you don't, these kinds of trends are pretty much dangerous, because if you're trying to figure your style out, you will not be able to achieve that by buying every trend that appears. Instead, you need to slowly work on finding your own style by only purchasing things that really speak to you and that you can again already match with something that you own. If you were to buy one single piece of clothing from this whole season, I would make it a combination between more trends. I would make it a bit more timeless, and it would be a combination between the pinstripes, the deep rich gray, the long tailored dresses, and if you feel adventurous, it would also be the fall classics. I really hope you guys enjoyed looking at the trends for this fall just as much as I did. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!